we wanted to take a stand that the media must be fair in its reporting. That means it must give some coverage to the opposition in the election. So we called for an EGM, and it was members unanimously agreed that the NUJ should persuade the print media owners to be fair in their reporting.
The heat, what happened to the heat can happen to anyone. Okay, it can happen to anyone. But unless there's a unity amongst us, if there is unity amongst us, do you think KDN can just come and revoke or suspend or do whatever they want?
The government has retained very much its power to keep the media in check. Three forces that I believe will ultimately, whip up a perfect storm for change in this country. And I think the government knows this well, so which is why it's trying very hard to at least keep a tight leash on at least one of these forces. Though of course perhaps it has lost control over the other two forces. Now that said, I think journalists share much of the blame for the sorry state of the sailor media in Malaysia.
Majalah Gedung Kartun, kalau kita masih ingat, majalah kartun pertama politik tanah air yang terus saja muka depan merdeka, seorang lelaki pegang bendera yang ada PM di situ, dia jerit merdeka-merdeka, seorang kanak-kanak kecil menegur dia, itu bendera Mongolia tuan. Ini bendera kita kan. So majalah ini pada edisi Merdeka, saya editor bersama saudara Zuna dan kawan-kawan kartunis. Hari ini dia keluar, kita edarkan orang yang order online. Besok kita keluarkan kepada pengedar. Hari ketiga KDN datang office, terus rampas, nasib baik sempat edar yang lain, terus rampas yang ada di pejabat. 408 naskah masa tu. Dan seperti kata Mas tadi, Akta Mesin Cetak dan Penerbitan, dia bukan saja melibatkan syarikat penerbitan, tetapi KDN ini sendiri telah pergi serbu kilang cetak. Kita boleh keluarkan, sampai hari ini kita boleh keluarkan, tetapi apabila dia pegang dan cengkam pengedar, tukang cetak, maka majalah ini terkubur. Inilah kekejaman yang paling kejam sekali kerajaan yang ada sekarang, apabila terus menyekat dengan menggunakan instrumen untuk menyekat kreativiti dan kebebasan. Saya menganggap media ini sebagai satu alat untuk menyampaikan kepada halayak, tidak kira apa saja bentuk. Jadi apabila media dicengkam, kreativiti kita akan rosak. Dia bukan sekadar The Hit. Hari ini The Hit, sebelum ni Malaysiakini, Harakah, Suara Keadilan, terus-terusan. Itu bukan sekadar satu-satu, tetapi kesan daripada cengkaman ini akan merosakkan kreativiti pengamal media ataupun penggiat, dan juga membunuh budaya bangsa tamadun kerana rakyat terus dibelenggu dengan maklumat yang tertutup.
Perkara inilah yang dibicarakan, dibincangkan. Bagaimanakah untuk memastikan semua yang kita laksanakan, supaya mereka yang membaca itu tidak akan dapat maklumat separuh lagi, 50% dari maklumat itu. Mana the right to reply itu memang dimansuhkan. So kalau kita tidak menggunakan kuasa ini, saya rasa kita akan gagal untuk menekan kerajaan. Ini marah, betul-betul marah deep inside. Ada yang di dalam hati ni untuk melihat kita bertindak ekstrim. Maksud saya bukan ekstrim dari segi kita bakar KDN ke apa ke, bukan. No.
The challenge and to promote media freedom in Malaysia, and a lot more people who are in media who are actually taking it up, because I think that was one component that was missing, especially from print media. I think there's been a lot of activism around this, but for journalists to speak up and take up the challenge, that is something that I think is very, very new, and something that ought to be commended, and something that we need to nurture. It's not just people who have the right to information and support media freedom, but also there needs to be support of journalists to speak speak up on this issue and be heard and be flying that flag.
When you have to ask difficult questions to people like the IGP or the Prime Minister himself or even Rosma, it's quite scary, really. So I think, you know, that an editor will have to cite journalists up before they go to the assignments and tell them that, you know, time and again, that it's your job to ask difficult questions. And I know that it's, you know, it could be embarrassing, and you got other journalists out there will be looking at you as if that you are a leper. But, you know, I think as a good journalist, you have to ask questions, because nobody else is going to do that.